Everyone's talking about game show host Bob Barker's startling confession. He's come forward to admit that he and his lovely assistant Dian Parkinson shared months of romance. But now she's charging sexual harassment, and he's calling her a greedy opportunist. Doug Bruckner has the latest.
Terry, it was a startling revelation. America's most popular game show host admitting he had sex with one of the show's attractive models. But now Hard Copy has learned there's a lot more to the story, and it's causing chaos on the set of The Price is Right.
I don't think he realized at the time what he was getting into.
Now, here is the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
It's America's longest-running game show, the epitome of good, clean fun. Now it turns out there were games being played off-camera, too.
It was a case of two middle-aged adults, consenting adults, having sex. It was as simple as that.
For 18 years, Dian Parkinson worked as one of the show's sexy models, and she posed nude for Playboy, even making a sexy Playboy video. But now she's claiming she was the victim of sexual harassment. According to her lawyer, if she had not had a sexual relationship with Bob Barker, she would have lost her job at The Price is Right. Dian left the show about a year ago, claiming that working on Price had become too stressful. And now the show's producers say her attorneys have threatened a lawsuit.
Dian is now demanding that we pay her an $8 million settlement. In my opinion, this is nothing but an $8 million shakedown.
By all appearances, this looks like a simple case of he said, she said. But behind closed doors, Hollywood insiders are saying there's a lot more to it. At the heart of the dispute, what appears to be a jealous rivalry on the set.
Some insiders are saying that Bob Barker is a victim of a pillow talk scheme by Dian Parkinson to get rid of her rival, Janice Pennington.
Her main intention was to align herself with the power on the set in hopes of getting me fired on the show.
In his news conference yesterday, Bob Barker dropped the bombshell that stunned the nation. He admits that in 1989, 8 years after the death of his wife, he and Dian Parkinson had a fling. But he insists it was Dian's idea.
She told me that I had been so straight-laced that it was time I had some hanky-panky in my life.
Bob says his relationship with his curvaceous co-host lasted about a year and a half, and then he says he called it off.
I found that Dian had talked about the relationship with members of the staff. I felt that it was beginning to be bad for the morale of our show.
According to Bob, after their relationship ended, Dian continued to work on the show for 2 more seasons. He insists there was no harassment.
It has been suggested that since I terminated this relationship, that it might be a bit of the old woman scorn.
Everyone knew that relationship was going on, so people tiptoed around both parties during that time. I mean, they were afraid that Dian would go to Bob and say such and such and such and such. So in order to avoid that, they tiptoed around it.
Janice Pennington is the show's other model. Together, they shared the spotlight. But Janice says Dian became obsessed with being #1.
She would go as far as she could to push me, to taunt me on the show, coming into my dressing room, deliberate things, thinking she could get away with it because she had Bob Barker. And so she had, a sense of she was untouchable.
Now, in a bizarre twist, Janice suggests that Dian began her relationship with Bob Barker in an attempt to get Janice thrown off the show.
I was being vilified, not just to him, but to everyone on that show.
Dian's scheme was basically to have a relationship with Bob, to whisper in his ear, get rid of Janice. And when Janice wasn't fired, Dian bolts, and that's when this whole situation flares up.
Dian Parkinson.
Today, Dian Parkinson isn't saying anything. But a few weeks ago, when she appeared on the Lisa show, she hinted that bad blood on the set is what convinced her to quit the show.
I mean, I'm not going to be a hypocrite anymore. I left to pursue other career ventures, but there were problems on the show, and I finally made a decision that I don't think I will ever regret.
Janice is still with The Price is Right. Diane is not. And now Bob Barker is facing a scandal that could shatter the confidence viewers have placed in him for close to 4 decades.
I refuse to allow Dian Parkinson to destroy that confidence with these outrageous allegations. And if what I'm going through right now is a part of hanky-panky, I don't want any more of it.
Dian Parkinson's attorney says allegations that Diane wanted to get rid of model Janice Pennington are untrue. Parkinson's people say her lawsuit will be filed within a month, and they say when that happens, Bob Barker will need to hire 3 more public relations firms. Barry?
Thanks, Doug.